Hello everyone. Welcome to my YNR 24 spoilers. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Christine's bachelorette party is interrupted by Phyllis. The Young and the Restless Monday, October 20th episode included Danny entertaining during a power outage, Phyllis breaking down, and Danny and Christine celebrating with friends. The Young and the Restless events. Sean, Dominic, and Amelia on The Young and the Restless. Victoria and Nate showed up for a get-together meal at the athletic club. She questioned whether the dining room was open because it appeared to be small. Jack expressed astonishment that Victoria wasn't downstairs when he and Michael arrived. Danny entered and expressed regret for being late to his own celebration. As she walked into the club, Phyllis noticed that everyone was laughing. Victoria became aware that she was attending Danny's bachelor celebration with Nate. Devin and Abby went into the jazz club and were happy to find that they were the only ones there. The couple was kissing when Tracy and Diane entered. Tracy pointed to the private party sign, and Diane cautioned that it was a ladies-only affair. As Christine came down the stairs wearing a white dress and a corny bride tiara for her bachelorette party, Lauren came out of the powder room. Victoria and Nate, meanwhile, felt bad for interrupting the celebration. Danny clarified that he had reserved the space and the lounge downstairs for the evening, while Phyllis remained hidden. Danny disclosed that he desired a special night spent with their closest friends, away from the media and fans. Nate and Victoria were about to depart when Danny urged them to stay and enjoy the celebration. Since Daniel was stranded in Boston, Danny reasoned that Nate could take Daniel's place. In the lounge, Devin showed up and said he had just lost Abby to the party. Danny demanded that Devin remain as well. After Victoria consented to wish Christine well, Nate drew her aside and inquired as to whether she was certain it was acceptable. Celebrating their friend's affection was exactly what they needed, she reasoned. When Michael saw Phyllis, he cautioned her against doing anything that might spoil the evening. She had reconciled with Danny and Christine's gross excuse for a marriage, according to Phyllis, who defended her residence at the club. She remembered that she had wished the pair well at Crimson Lights before, but Christine had sourly criticized their relationship. Michael asked why Phyllis was lurking around, despite her insistence that she had moved on. Phyllis claimed that after returning from errands, she had witnessed the bachelor celebration. The fact that a rock artist did not have strippers and that the boys and girls were kept apart struck her as sad and beige. Michael returned to the party after urging her to go up to her suite. Phyllis snarled to herself, "You are not in charge of me." In case he was unable to return in time, Michael read an emotional message that Daniel had sent. Jack introduced Danny to the young, attractive girl who had modeled for Jabot Jr., and Danny thanked him for the introduction. Jack remembered that he had done so because Christine had been crushing on the world's most attractive rock star. Jack raised a glass to genuine love. Nate informed Danny that Amy's cancer was remained in remission when he inquired about her health. Danny had pleasant memories of hanging out with Nate's father and singing with Amy. Danny mentioned that Devin was now a well-known record producer and proposed that they work together. Michael suggested having more drinks. Nate's presence for Victoria after Cole's death was commended by Jack. Nate said that he and Victoria had been coping with the loss of loved ones, and as a result, they had supported and strengthened one another. Devin responded that life only grew better together when Michael asked him for his thoughts on marriage. The men gave Christine and Danny a toast. Lauren noticed that Christine was glowing down at the club. When Victoria got there, she said Danny made sure she came. Victoria thought it was great that Christine and Danny had reconnected. Christine inquired about Victoria's well-being and offered her condolences for Cole. Victoria was hesitant to interrupt the celebration and ruin the fun. Christine mentioned that Abby had been devastated by Chance's passing and that Nina had not felt like being there after losing him. "I can't think of a better way to heal than a night of living and laughing," Christine continued. Lauren said that in order to make the tough times more tolerable, it was crucial to commemorate the good times. Victoria consented to remain. When Christine described Danny's proposal, everyone in the room exclaimed how lovely it sounded. Phyllis walked in and inquired as to whether anyone may attend or if it was a private party. There was silence in the room. In a derogatory manner, Phyllis asked if Christine's ensemble was a preview of her wedding gown. Christine believed that they had already run out of barbs in their bags, but Phyllis pointed out that her bag had no bottom. Lauren pushed Phyllis away to have a private conversation. Christine was determined not to let Phyllis spoil the evening. Christine gushed that love was sweeter the second time around as the women clinked their glasses together. When Danny returned to her life, Christine acknowledged that she had given up on love and was apprehensive, but things had turned out better than she had anticipated. Phyllis would, but out of Christine's otherwise wonderful life because she expected everyone in the room, including herself, to find a happy ending. Phyllis, who was across the room, said she had just gone to the bar for a drink and had no idea that she would end up at the Cricket 2.0 kickoff party. Lauren laughed that Phyllis was a heat-seeking bitch when Christine was around, and she wondered if Phyllis was just trying to stir things up to ruin Christine's good time. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, Phyllis chirped. Phyllis blasted Christine for attempting to ruin her life, despite Lauren's instruction that she was superior to that. Phyllis was tired of Christine cruelly shoving her joy in Phyllis's face, but Lauren told her to stop the animosity. Lauren asserted that Danny was happy, and Phyllis vowed that she wanted him to be. Christine had persuaded him that he was, but Phyllis sighed, knowing that he would wake up one day and discover that he had made a terrible error. Lauren questioned why Phyllis was squandering her time and effort when she no longer wanted Danny. Phyllis despised Christine because she came up to her and made fun of her, saying that she couldn't bear the fact that she would never have what she had. When was the last time a man had given Phyllis the kind of look Danny gave her, Christine thought. Christine declared that Phyllis was too insane to find true love and made fun of her brief marriage to Jeremy Stark. Lauren prevented Christine from being physically assaulted by Phyllis. Phyllis sobbed, "I'm not crazy." Christine said she was sorry if she had offended anyone, but she felt that Phyllis's presence to stir up trouble looked insane. Victoria offered to walk Phyllis out after Diane announced that the entertainment was over. Phyllis wept that she was glad to be going, and she made fun of Christine's loser party to celebrate her miserable marriage in front of a small group of people. As Danny attempted to escape her on every continent, Phyllis wished Christine luck in her pursuit of him. Diane and Abby denounced Phyllis when she fled, but Tracy recognized that Phyllis had experienced mental trauma following her kidnapping by Martin. Although Victoria felt sorry for Phyllis, she thought her attack was unnecessary. Danny ran into Phyllis as he went upstairs to the bar to buy another bottle. She questioned if she should disregard the fact that her son's father was getting married to the most heinous, undeserving lady who had just spoken hatefully to her. Phyllis was reprimanded by Michael for going somewhere she had no business going. "I didn't deserve to be kicked in the face with hate and lies," Phyllis said. Phyllis yelled at Danny for thinking she had been the villain when he inquired about what she had said to Christine. Phyllis hurried away. Christine ran into Danny's arms as the men flooded into the jazz club. Michael promised not to let anything else bring them down when Jack proposed that they combine the parties. Phyllis's name was moaned by several people as the lights abruptly went out. Nate offered to investigate the situation. Danny suggested that they continue the celebration, and he promised to return immediately. In order to find out why the lights were out, Phyllis yelled out as she made her way to the dimly lit dining room. "Has she done it?" inquired Danny. According to Nate, the manager had told him that the power will be restored shortly after some construction had caused it to go out. Danny urged Phyllis to stay after Nate returned to the club, and she anticipated that he would criticize her for what she had said to Christine. In a quiet voice, Danny expressed his concern for Phyllis and inquired about her well-being. She wasn't, Phyllis said, and she realized that he always assumed the worst about her. She was different, but not in a negative way, as Danny noted, and she had a history of pulling practical jokes. He believed it was a gift that she cherished and felt deeply, but he also believed that she reacted angrily to others because she was unable to manage her emotions. Phyllis whined that Christine had called her insane, and she admitted that being confined in a cell with Sharon had caused her to lose her mind. Danny expressed regret for hurting her. She said she only wanted Danny to be happy, but Phyllis imagined he thought she was a fool for clinging to someone who had left her go years before. He said that it would never be anybody else when she bemoaned that it had to be with Christine. Because she only wanted the best for him, Phyllis reluctantly accepted it. Danny urged her to join them, saying he had been heading upstairs to get his guitar so he could serenade the group. Phyllis refused, choosing instead to return to her room. She fought back tears as he left, telling herself she would be all right. When Danny got back to the club, he said that he would perform while they awaited the restoration of the electricity. He urged everyone to join in the singing as he drew Christine to the piano. While Danny was playing a romantic tune, Phyllis sneaked into the club. She silently left after watching the group sing joyfully. When the lights flickered back on after Danny's performance, applause broke out. They shared a kiss after Danny expressed his excitement for their lives to begin anew. Thanks to Phyllis, Christine's Bachelorette night goes completely crazy. According to Monday, October 20th spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Y&R, Phyllis Summers is unable to go past her long-standing hostility toward Christine Blair. Is she so desperate that she would try to spoil the Bachelorette party? She certainly is. The couple were at Crimson Lights last week when Phyllis pressed Christine about her second marriage to Danny. Why is Phyllis unable to let go? The couple politely attempted to ignore Phyllis after she said a lot of offensive things to them. One of her cruelest remarks was that Christine and Danny were unlikely to keep their vows. Christine is now aware of Phyllis's true identity and that she is really a loudmouth who enjoys hearing her horn blow. Phyllis was devastated by the sight of Cricket and Danny's intense love, especially when she was unable to break through their flawless front. This leads one to believe that Phyllis is going to start throwing more parties to which she isn't invited. Will Phyllis offer free wedding drama? According to Red Hot Teasers, Phyllis decides to show up at Christine's Bachelorette celebration, which is a rude move. Christine, who is calm and lovely, is enjoying herself with her guests in the jazz lounge when Phyllis comes charging in. Meow. Abby Winters, Victoria Newman, Diane Jenkins Abbott, Tracy Abbott, and Lauren Baldwin are among the guests who are horrified by the sight of Big Red. Christine is too much for Phyllis to let go of. Phyllis wasn't invited, so Christine shouldn't have to put up with her rudeness. Red eats it up when she displays rage. We think Lauren will act as the referee, telling Phyllis to just go away. Danny's bachelor celebration is overseen by Michael Baldwin in another scene. A bachelor party that goes too far. Assuming that the men have a good night planned for rock star Danny, we can tell you that things get complicated by a few unforeseen hiccups. This is just background noise to the fate of Danny and Christine. They are prepared to get married and live their best life, even though they might occasionally be upset by circumstances beyond their control. Warning, according to spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Phyllis might be planning a surprise for the big wedding day. Emotions were running high in The Young and the Restless October 20th episode as a night of turmoil and conflict brought together love, jealousy, and nostalgia. In the company of close friends and family, Danny Blair and Christine Blair were scheduled to enjoy their bachelor and bachelorette parties, respectively. However, when Phyllis Summers, unable to control her anger toward Christine, interrupted the celebration and rekindled old wounds, the happy atmosphere of the evening swiftly descended into chaos. The episode reminded viewers why the complex ties between these characters are ageless by skillfully fusing poignant moments with traditional Genoa City turmoil. Danny's bachelor celebration was in progress at the Genoa City Athletic Club when the episode started. In front of his pals Jack, Michael, Devin, and Nate, Danny thanked them for helping him rediscover happiness with Christine. With toasts to friendship, love, and second chances, the mood was contemplative and cozy. Victoria and Nate, on the other hand, were invited to stay after they unintentionally entered the party. The women assembled for Christine's Bachelorette celebration upstairs. As the soon-to-be bride shone in her bridal tiara, Lauren, Tracy, Diane, Abby, and Victoria couldn't wait to rejoice. Christine talked candidly about her newfound relationship with Danny and how it had assisted her in moving past her previous heartbreak. It was upbeat and full of laughter, until Phyllis showed up without invitation, upsetting the peace. Red-hot defiance, shrouded in turmoil, was Phyllis's arrival. Her scathing remarks regarding Christine's clothing and wedding soon exposed her actual motives, despite her claims that her appearance was an accident. Bitter accusations and scathing insults were the outpouring of her jealousy and unresolved anguish. Lauren tried to defuse the situation, but Phyllis reacted angrily, accusing Christine of humiliating her by flaunting her joy and Danny's love. Normally composed and understanding, Christine finally lost her temper, making fun of Phyllis's failed romances and raising doubts about her sanity. Years of rivalry and animosity boiled to the surface, and the confrontation became intense. Once concealed by bluster, Phyllis's anguish was revealed when she accused Christine of taking the life she felt was rightfully hers. Phyllis stormed off after the heated argument, only to bump into Danny upstairs. She acknowledged that she wasn't feeling well in a rare display of candor. Her sobs showed how deeply hurt she was by her malicious actions. Despite being adamant about his love for Christine, Danny was sympathetic and understood Phyllis's emotional struggles. He reminded her that the depth of her emotions was the source of her intensity, which was both a blessing and a curse. Their conversation was honest and moving, highlighting the complex relationship they still had as ex-lover and co-parents. During a power outage, Danny came back to the lounge to serenade Christine with a passionate performance, while Phyllis stayed in the shadows, watching silently then sliding away, her sadness resonating beneath the music. The Young and the Restless gave viewers what they wanted by the end of the episode: emotional reckoning, passion, conflict, and nostalgia. Phyllis's tragic flaw, loving too intensely and losing too painfully, was highlighted by her unwillingness to move on. The reunion of Christine and Danny, however, represented enduring love, triumphing over the past. The pandemonium that Phyllis caused was symbolized by the power outage, but as Danny's music filled the room, the light returned, both literally and figuratively. Even though Christine and Danny's romance was shining brightly, Phyllis's suffering remained a shadow, laying the groundwork for future strife and possibly more heartache.